I'm the director of the Spencer Museum of Art. I wanted to announce before we began that everyone who is speaking today has been involved in the restorative justice process. Today's gathering is one of several actions toward learning and healing that were determined by a group including staff from the Spencer Museum of Art, FENSA students, Native faculty and staff, and the individuals offering their apologies today for the 2021 theft of the Native host panels. We at the Spencer Museum are grateful for this adjudication process and the good spirit that all participants have had. The 5 panels that you see in front of the museum are works by artist Edgar Heberberts, a member of the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations. Heberberts created these panels specifically for the museum's 2019 exhibition, The Power of Place, KU Alumni Artist, which highlighted works exploring ideas of place by artists who graduated from the University of Kansas. Edgar Heberberts often addresses issues of place, heritage, dominant culture, and memory through text-based artworks. These panels name 5 Native tribes who originally inhabited or currently have reservation land in the region that is now Kansas. Host series, the colonial name of a location is printed backwards, while the name of the land's original occupants is printed forward. The visual and emotional tension that Heberberts creates between these names means to remind us all of the displacement of Native Americans from their homelands. Heberberts states, "The Kaw selection represents a historic tribe and a river from the Lawrence area. The tribe has been forcibly removed to Oklahoma Indian Territory near Ponca City, Oklahoma. The other 4 nations listed are the only tribes that have reservation status and land in Kansas." But to speak on behalf of the Spencer Museum of Art, I want to pledge our ongoing stewardship of this work of art and our commitment to working with and learning from Indigenous artists, art, and communities. I thank you all for being here and sharing in this ongoing restorative justice process in collaboration with the Native communities, the Spencer Museum of Art, and John and Sam. I now invite Lori to the microphone.
Thank you, Sarah. Matito, Chakiwietha, Machilawi Kisaki, Lori Hasselman, Natesito, Samawanila no Kilanabe. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Lori Hasselman. I am a citizen of the Shawnee Tribe and the Delaware Tribe of Indians of Oklahoma. I'm also the Assistant Director in the KU Native American Initiatives Office. I'm so happy to see all your faces here today and so glad that you've chosen to join us and support us in this process and actually participate in the process. You know, I think that we all have come here today feeling encouraged to be included in this process and are very thankful to the DA's office for allowing us to have our voices heard in this process. We don't often get that opportunity, and we don't often get a voice at the table in these situations where we've experienced harm or our communities have been impacted. So we are very thankful for our participation with this restoration process. When I look around and I see our students and all of the Native relatives that have come here today, I can't help but think about the diverse traditional systems of restorative justice that are represented from each of our tribes. And I'm so grateful that we were able to bring that part of who we are to this process and kind of collectively merge all of those parts together from our different tribes and work together collectively with building peace, and with Sam and John and with others to bring about healing, and also to restore balance to ourselves individually and also to our respective communities. I wanted to say that restoration is tough. It's difficult and it's not easy, and it's also very beautiful at the same time. It's having hard conversations, and for some of us it's confronting trauma, and it's dealing with feelings of fear and anger, and it's also acts of resilience and forgiveness and strength and acts of love. And so I think that we have represented those acts and approached the situation as Native people representative of those acts, because that's who we are. We're resilient and we're strong and we're forgiving and we're also love. And so I also want to acknowledge in that same way of thinking that not everybody experiences this process the same, and not our journey, each of our journeys to restoration and healing are different. And with that in mind and considering that, in order to honor that, I want to invite each of us to offer our own blessing in our own way in this space of restoration that we've created together in a moment of silence. So if you will join me in offering a blessing and good intentions right now, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Yahweh, Wanishi, thank you so much for your blessings and your good thoughts and your good intentions. At this time, I would like to invite John and Sam up to continue with this process and what we came here for today.
Thank you all for coming out this afternoon. We greatly appreciate your time and effort. My name is John.
I'm Sam.
We're here to apologize for the wrongful taking of the Indigenous artwork. To the artist, Mr. Edgar Heba Birds, the Indigenous students of KU, Haskell University, the broader Indigenous communities, the Spencer Art Museum, and anyone that felt the ripple effect from this situation, I want to start by saying how extremely sorry we are. Sorry for the angst, the suffering, the somberness, and the overall opacity throughout these past 14 months. There truthfully isn't a second that goes by that I don't unconditionally regret our actions and the damage that was caused. I wish I could stand up here and apologize to you all a million times. I can assure you that it was never our intent to be malicious or to hurt anyone or any group. Rather, our naivety and selfish desire to use it as decor for our apartment. However, our ignorance to the nature of the artwork is by no means an excuse for our actions. Rather, we want to use this opportunity as a wake-up call to perpetually shed light on a systemic reform that is necessary.
Throughout this restorative process, we've heard from some who have been affected, and seeing the effects verily showed us the gravity of our wrongdoing, not only to the Lawrence community, but to the Indigenous community who has been historically stolen from. Again, I sincerely apologize from the bottom of my heart. I won't ever be able to put how sorry I am into words. I am truly appreciative for the chance to be here today and to be able to apologize in person. Recently, we've had the great pleasure to work with some folks with the Building Peace organization, the Spencer Art Museum, and some great individuals from the First Nations Students Association in an attempt to help repair the damage that was caused. Together, we have created a plan to further our education of Indigenous culture through extensive readings, presentations, volunteer work, and more. We're very appreciative of this group providing such a great outlet and platform for a very productive, unifying conversation at the Restorative Circle. We are beyond grateful for the opportunity to continually work with this group in effort to spread awareness of Indigenous history and culture moving forward, in addition to using our own experience as a way to inform others and more effectively propagate the message to help us in our transition to act as advocates and allies for the cause. Again, we'd like to thank you all for coming out today and sharing your time with us and giving us the chance to apologize. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam and John. I'm working with them to have a presentation during the KU powwow. So you guys want to come out and see what their understanding and the importance of what they done and how we're moving forward to heal. So, and this is what it's about, is healing. And so, again, if you don't know me, I'm Tweesna Rose Mills, a lecturer and a film student here at KU in the film department, and part of First Nations Student Association. And I'm just going to share a quick song with you. I don't like to sit up here and talk a lot. It's about healing and moving forward. So the song I'm going to sing, and the importance of it is, it's a Kickapoo song. American Church up in Kickapoo there, they showed us a way, and we brought that way to Washington State, which now we have our own chapter, the Medicine Creek chapter. And at that time, in the song, it shows adaptability and the change we need and what we need as Indigenous people. So it's the tobacco song, and what I'm saying is, Father, Spirit of Tobacco, show me the way, hear my prayer. And those words, they were a peyote song. And if you don't know anything about a Native American church peyote song, the men sing those songs with drums and gourds. And we didn't have a peyote song, a tobacco song in the Women's Sweat Lodge. I learned this song since I was a little girl in the Women's Sweat Lodge. And so my auntie, we didn't have that woman's tobacco song, so she took this song, the words of the Kickapoo people, and she took out the men's drum, she took out the gourd, and she changed the rhythm of it into a slower rhythm, to a more feminine sound, and we transformed that into a sweat lodge song for the women, for the tobacco. So yeah, this is a song of how we as people need to change, and what we need to do is to sometimes do it ourselves, right? So again, this is the tobacco song from the Kickapoo people, and I sing it because one, it's one of my favorites, two, it's from the land here. So again, this is the tobacco song.
wana hiana hayana hene oe makashane toshinane sama we wana hiana yawino sama we wana hiana ne sama we wana hiana yawino sama we wana hiana hayana hene oe. Thank you, Masi. I want to invite.
Thank you again, to the heavens and earth and all my relations, Squally Tootsiite, Tootsiite, Ninsiite. I'd like to invite Jarlin up here to say a few words. She's part of the restorative process here and been here since the beginning, since it first happened. And I think it's important for closure, so thank you.
Okay, so I have the privilege to go up. Kind of different methods of abolitionist type of criminal justice reform will get more widespread interest at the county level and in other surrounding areas. So, but I also just want to say that, so I guess I didn't introduce myself. So I am Gabriel Lehmann. I'm a graduate student here at KU. I'm a member of the Cherokee Nation, member of FENSA, and a board member of the Indigenous Community Center here in Lawrence, Kansas. And I found my Indigenous identity here at KU through FENSA, through Melissa, through Milton, and just these, and Theresa and the wonderful people that we've met. And to be Indigenous and to have instantaneous inclusivity within the Indigenous community has been like such a huge blessing. And I think that you can see that, hopefully you can see, one of the things we really want to communicate is that we are inclusive. We are inclusive to non-natives. We are inclusive to even people who have hurt us so deeply. I mean, we really want to be working towards reconciliation. Our root motivation is not for retribution or to continue perpetuating harm, but we really want to be involved in restoring ourselves in our community and with those who've been harmful to us. So I guess that's all I wanted to say, and thank you all so much for being here. And I'm a small part of this. There's so many other people who've been involved in this, so I just want to thank you. And I'm going to turn it over to Melissa Peterson. She's been a wonderful a source of strength for us through this, so she's going to close us out. Thank you.
Yate, Melissa Peterson, Yinche, Luka Hentke, Asha. Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Peterson. Thank you all for being here for this quick presentation. It definitely is not a space for you to leave done and closed with this chapter, because this is only the beginning of what is to come from these two gentlemen and the rest of the work that's being done around Native hosts and the work that needs to be done at institutions like KU and in our world, frankly. Jarlin mentioned that she takes strength from me, and I don't know that I believe that so much, but I hope that you can leave today taking strength from these students that are part of this process, because it is their humility, it is their grace that has brought us here today, and that's the healing that I take from this. And so look to FENSA, because they are leading that, and this is somewhat of a smaller issue happening here at this institution. And so hopefully, as we continue to bring this visibility and they continue to share their voices, that this grows, right? The work that happens grows, and the healing continues to grow. So thank you all for being here, and I hope that we can leave here today and go our ways and do what we need to. If any of you are open to smudging with us, Twisna will get that started here. Other than that, this concludes our short presentation today. Like these students said, April 8th at our KU Powwow and Indigenous Cultures Festival, it will be a presentation that we will be presented along with the other educational presentations that are happening that day. So thank you all.